Hi, my name is Ashlyn Rayburn, and I will be presenting my presentation for Organizational Behavior and Management in Miss Allie Schilling's class. This is my contemporary business leadership presentation. So in my overview, I have business leader description, application of leadership theory, greatest career achievement, handling a challenge, leadership style comparison, leadership lessons, reflections, and scale ratings. This is all on my second slide, which will also have the link to this video in the notes section. On slide 3, I have my business leader description. The leader I chose to cover, his name is Paul Baker. He is a 20-year-old man from Texas, and in 2020 he relocated his family to the Deep South for work. He works at Lockheed Martin in a city here in Alabama. He graduated from the Georgia State University Business School with a master's in business administration in 2019. Paul Baker demonstrates significant leadership qualities, especially when I interviewed him. We talked a lot about his academic achievements and his professional journey, his relocation for work, and his role at his career at Lockheed Martin really highlighted his commitment and his ability to lead a team. The organization he works for, once again, is Lockheed Martin, which is a leading global security and company who works with making missiles, fire control, and just air weapons for the not the army, but the military and various government agencies. Their customers consist of other countries, the military in the United States, personal government agencies in the United States, and a few more. He recognizes his industry as the Department of Defense, which he works in the JASSM building, which JASSM is an abbreviation for one of their types of missiles they make. He works in a building which holds 300 plus employees, and he works to ensure that all of the departments in that one building and those supervisors of those departments are running smoothly. So he's a supervisor of supervisors. He has been in his position at Lockheed Martin since the spring of 2024, and it just really involves him overseeing critical projects and working to meet the company's goals. All of these effects and more really show his capabilities and his dedication as a leader and the type of leadership role he has and how he strives for excellence in his building with his employees, and he really works to make the working lives of his employees impactful and meaningful in this Department of Defense industry. On my fourth slide is application of leadership theory. So based on interviewing him, I learned that his leadership style, if I had to describe it, would best be described as affiliative and pace setting. Affiliative, emphasizes building relationships with your employees and making them all feel like they belong together and they really are a team. And he really prioritizes the emotional needs of his employees and works to create a positive and inclusive environment for them all. He fosters a sense of trust and loyalty within the team, so they feel like they can come to their boss, they can come to him for anything. Now, his pace setting leadership, I saw this because the company he works for is very goal oriented. They have very strict standards, high standards and expectations, and very strict goals. He told me recently that their output goal has went, I don't remember the exact number, I didn't take it down in my notes as I legally wasn't allowed to, he said, but for example, when they are expected to put out, let's say 50 missiles a month from this building, it has recently went up to 350 a month from this building. So they have really, really high expectations and really strict goals for getting their work out and complete. So he tends to work long hours and tries to inspire his employees to follow the same sometimes to get their targets set and met. But he leads by example, and he just demonstrates the level of performance and results that he expects from his employees. His leadership style is really a blend of both of these. Like I said, he integrates both of these, and he works to create an environment that his employees feel safe and supported in, while also achieving the high performance goals and standards that come with working for Lockheed Martin. On my fifth slide, you'll see is his greatest career achievement. I have included the section A of the chart from Characteristics of Leadership. It's kind of small, but hopefully you can see it. So his greatest achievement in this career is obtaining his Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification this past June. Basically what this is Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification as far as you can go on it. But Lean Six Sigma is a company and a way of being a manager. It's like a way of life in a sort of way. It's the building blocks and the steps of being a manager. And this achievement is impactful for so many reasons for him. It really is a significant milestone in his career, and it showcases his dedication to continuously improve himself and to push out great excellence in operations at his job. This really makes him a more valuable leader in his company. I'm going to read this straight off my notes for you. Lean Six Sigma methodology combines lean principles which focus on eliminating waste with Six Sigma principles which aims to reduce variability and defects. The methodology follows the DMAIC framework, which includes define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And this all helps to systematically improve the processes of the job and being a manager. So by using almost all of those phases, the analyze, improve, control, and whatnot, Paul is really working and making it a better place for himself and his fellow employees. So when you get to this rating scale that I used from Characteristics of Leadership, Paul used almost each skill daily. The only two that he did not use daily were stewardship and empathy, which he rated a 3. He used occasionally or sometimes. By using all of these, it really helped him work towards achieving this Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification, and it helped provide him with the mindset and the work ethic that is necessary to achieve it, because he says it's not easy. And I believe it as of the entire, I guess I'll say, campus that he works on. Like, his building is 300 plus people, but there's about 4 or 5 other buildings that are just as well 300 plus people. About maybe 20 on the entire campus have this certification. It's a lot of work to get. So that is a great significant career achievement to have. So on slide 6, handling a challenge. Mr. Baker told me the challenge that he faced when he started this job was managing the diversity of all the employees he had. So he had employees of various backgrounds, various races, multiple genders, sexual identities, everything, as well as dealing with his customers. He had foreign government officials from the U.S. and outside of the U.S., and he also dealt with high people up in the military and government agencies. So he worked on handling this challenge in a few different ways. So he didn't start with the most open mindset, he told me, when he started at Lockheed Martin, but through a bunch of different ways, he worked to turn this around. He adjusted his morals and his ethics, and he reassessed his personal values and really aligned with the principles of God and the Christian worldview, he said, to open his mind up and realize that everyone should be included. We're all God's children. He turned to prayer a lot, as well as senior leadership, to provide him with the guidance and the strength to really commit to these values and beliefs so that he could be the best manager he could be. So, as far as his managerial versus his leadership role, the managerial role focuses more on executing functions and processes, ensuring that all the goals are met through the best ways. But the leadership role involves creating a vision, inspiring and motivating people to push to change, to achieve all long-term goals. Paul Baker more so responded to that diversity challenge with the leadership role, as he aimed for vision and change, and he was looking to inspire and motivate his employees. Like I said, he was seeking guidance from senior leadership and relying on his prayer, and that in turn turned Paul to show a willingness to grow and adapt, which helped set an example for his team. On section B of the Characteristics of Leadership sheet, Paul ranked a 5 on each skill. He told me that he realized these skills are needed for him to help make this change, and that this change was important in handling the challenge at work head on, and without these skills he could not have done that. He exemplified strong leadership through this by adjusting his values and seeking guidance, and he really demonstrated a commitment to including everyone on his team. On slide 7, we have the power bases and impact of behavior. The power bases that I believe Paul utilized were referent power and expert power. Referent power is based on the leader's ability to attract others and build loyalty through relationships, while the expert power is derived from your knowledge and what you're good at, your skills and your expertise. Which Paul, which Paul had both of these. He used his expertise and his skills and what he knew coming in from his business administration degree and from achieving this Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification. He understood the complexities involved in dealing with various stakeholders, such as the foreign officials and government leaders, and he really has the ability to lead effectively. But he also has the referent power because he adjusted his morals and ethics to align with fitting in and getting along with his employees that he may have differed from. There was a lot of team cohesion, and it was really enhanced and developed, and he just worked to make it all inclusive and morally right for his employees. On slide 8, we have the leadership style comparison. I compared Miss Colleen Barrett, who is the leader of Southwest Airlines. We've talked about Paul Baker and his affiliative leadership and pace-setting leadership, and some of the strengths of that include really strong team bonds and pushing out high performance. But a weakness is the potential for burnout, as wearing down emotionally and meeting such high standards can really wear on your mental well-being, and you can lead to burnout rather quickly. Now, Miss Colleen Barrett, she is, like I said, she was with Southwest Airlines. Her style of leadership was employee empowerment and a strong organizational culture. Her focus on respect and empowerment really contributes to one cohesive organizational culture, because Southwest Airlines is Lockheed Martin is big, yes, but Southwest Airlines is much bigger. Southwest Airlines is all over the United States. I mean, Lockheed Martin is as well, but only in a couple of cities. Southwest is everywhere. It's up in the air. But Miss Colleen Barrett, she believes that empowering her employees is beneficial. However, a weakness of that strength is it can sometimes lead to inconsistent decision making if you're relying too much on your employees' opinions and their input and not using your power and leadership as a manager to make those decisions. It can lead to not everybody being happy. But both leadership styles have a different, unique strength and weakness. While Mr. Baker's approach is high drive performance and really forming team bonds, while Miss Colleen Barrett really empowers the employees in their roles and helps to build a cohesive employee culture. It really just depends on the context and goals of their organization for the effectiveness of these. On slide 9, I have a picture of Miss Colleen Barrett and a picture of Mr. Paul Baker. The picture of Mr. Baker is, I believe, 4 years old. He pointed out 3 or 4. He emailed it to me. It's him and his dog, but he technically is not allowed. They are not allowed to take any pictures on company property on the campus of Lockheed Martin. It is a fireable offense for taking your phone into a cell phone or any device that can take a picture or record audio. So I couldn't take my phone or anything in when we did this. But he emailed me this picture. It's a picture of him and his family. Well, his dog. His wife is cropped out of it. But yeah, so he couldn't provide me with a picture. I couldn't get one of him there, and I couldn't record our interview, unfortunately. But I did take notes on paper and later on stick them in here. So on slide 10, we have leadership lessons, and I have included another section of the characteristics of leadership ranking on there. And this really just talks about the mission, vision, and strategy of Lockheed Martin. Their mission is to solve complex challenges and deliver innovative solutions to help keep people safe and ensure national security, which is their vision. The strategy of this is just keeping their promise to customers and putting out the best work they can. An entrepreneurial mindset really is essential to achieving these goals. They have to be, innovative and proactive and willing to take certain risks in order to push their organization forward. So in section C, which I have included on the slide, Mr. Baker mainly ranked 4s and 5s, which means that he often uses the skills and aspects of an entrepreneurial mindset almost daily while working to meet the mission and vision that's held by Lockheed Martin. My 3 behaviors that I believe a leader should demonstrate are avoid. One, I believe a leader should demonstrate adaptability, as that's crucial for navigating business in general, navigating any job. You have to be able to adapt, and just like Mr. Baker was able to adapt to his diverse employees, and he adjusted his mindset and his morals to help manage that diverse team effectively. Another behavior a leader should demonstrate, I believe, is empathy, because that helps with strong relationships and trust within your teams. Mr. Baker really prioritizes emotional connections with his employees so they feel supported and as if they can come to him for any reason. One behavior leaders should avoid is micromanagement. Micromanagement only stifles creativity and personal autonomy, and this can lead to an employee feeling burned out, or it can decrease their morale. But if you are demonstrating adaptability, empathy, and avoiding micromanagement, I would say you could effectively support the goals of your organization and really foster a positive, high-performing team.